It's the promotion push episode. Today, we have every game in the run-in to see if we get automatically promoted. And if we don't, we're going to have every game of the playoffs. And it's going to be a bumper episode full of drama, tension, and potentially the future of this save is all down to today's episode. So stick around, let's run that intro, and let's see if we're going to be Premier League bound with this 4-4-2 handball. Yes, thank you for being here for what will be a bumper episode YouTube. As always, like, subscribe, leave a comment down below if you enjoy it. It is going to really help the algorithm gods. But let's just get straight into the facts. This is going to be tight and tense, and that is because two things could happen. Either A, we topple Bristol and we're automatically up, or B, we're into the playoffs because we're automatically guaranteed a playoff spot. So we're going to have a lot of tense football. The reason why it is massively important is I don't want to keep bringing him up, and I'm going to play him left wing in the next game, is McGuinness, who has got a couple of assists and a goal this season already since jetting out my youth intake, is got a 550k release fee. If we don't go up, I expect that they get met by someone in the Prem. So, yeah, we need to go up so he doesn't have that 550k clubs in minimal release fee. Now, they can't activate that now, but when he turns professional, he can activate that. But if we go up, that's not a thing. And, yeah, we'll be able to do what we need to do there. In terms of our run-in, let's go and have a look at the run-in here. And as you can see on screen, since we lost to Fulham 1-0, we got Pompey, who are in 16 for Portsmouth. We got Millwall, but it's Millwall at home. Millwall away have been really strong for oppositions. Like Millwall's home form, really good. But Millwall, when they've gone and travelled, not great. We then play Norwich City, who are in 6th, fighting for their lives in the playoffs. This is a danger game for us, and it's not great. Swansea away on the final day should be safe by then because the relegation's basically done. 2 teams already down, and I believe Charlton are basically down, as you can see. So Swansea should be safe and have nothing to play for. What I think happens here, and it's always unpredictable with our system, as you can tell through here, is we should win these 3 games, and the Norwich game is up in the air, and we'll probably lose. What this means is we need Bristol to drop at least 2 games because they are, of course, only 1 point ahead of us. And their run-in is this. Millwall away, which is a lot harder than having Millwall at home. Then they play Norwich themselves at home, do-or-die clash for both clubs. Then they play Sheffield, who have a sneaky chance of making it to the playoffs. They're on 64 points, 69. Like, if Norwich start losing games and Sheffield keep winning games, they could get in there, Sheffield United. And on the final day, they play Hull, and they're going to be safe from relegation, so nothing to play for. We need to make sure we win all our games so we play Norwich and hope that Bristol drop one of these 2 games against Millwall or Norwich City, or Norwich City and Sheffield. Or even better, they're just going on a run right now where it goes like draw, loss. That would be great, or draw, loss, or something like that, where they drop 2 games, because then if we throw away the Norwich game, we're still going to be able to go and get promoted. So it's going to be fantastic. If not, it's the championship playoffs. And look at the clubs that are going to be in there. It's going to be Southampton and Ipswich. Both were in the season preview, and hopefully they're still there in the season preview, predicted to get automatically promoted. Ipswich, automatically promoted. Southampton going up in the playoffs in 3rd and being the best team that goes up. Yeah, I don't want to play either of them because on their day, they're going to be much better than us in quality and probably keep us in the championship. So, with that all being said, I would, much rather not go through the playoffs and go up automatically due to the quality of the teams from 6th through to 3rd. But if it is the playoffs, we have a 4-4-2 handball that should be able to deal with cup football, as seen by the cup run that we had in the FA Cup, that we should be able to cope. But yeah, let's get into the gameplay. We got Pompey first up. Hopefully, when we come back, we got a highlight at Fratton Park that involves us taking the lead. Game number 1 of the playoff promotion push. Wherever we fall, we'll find out today. And we've got Pompey away. Big game for us, though, is Millwall versus Bristol away. And I really hope that there is a result in this game that favours us. Because if there is a world where we're back in 2nd and have destiny in our own hands. In terms of the team selection, it's right there on the left-hand side as well. Gamboa's going to come back in, and Donnelly is going to come out for Divian. I think that makes a lot of sense, and we're going to move him to advanced forward because he plays better as an advanced. Outside of that, we also need to get Creswell back too. So just picking our best 11, and Manoff is going to come in for Thomas. And that should be the team that we need to select. I am going to put McGuinness as the defensive winger on support. I feel like with the run-in, we need to get Gallagher's physicality up front, get the 6'4" guy so we can go long to himself. And I just think McGuinness, long-term in this save, probably is going to need to be a winger with how we play this Stoke system. Left wing, not, left wing kind of suits him. Up front, probably too short. Never going to play over 10 in the 4-4-2. Centre mid is a bit too short in the central midfielder. Could play fullback on the left-hand side, but he would be an aggressive attacking fullback, not the type of fullback that we're going to use in this save. But we'll get him out there and see how he goes. So we're now going to cut into the first highlight of the Pompey game. Hopefully it's one for us, and hopefully the system does its job. Throw in for Williams and Chaplin. Used to be a great player on FM back in the day, Chaplin. And Yang going down this side. Gamboa wins. No, he doesn't. Ball back stick. He's unmarked, and it's a header straight at Johannesson. We should be 1-0 down. Pompey really should have scored from that one. We go long now towards Gallagher. Doesn't win that header, and it's going to come straight back. Williams now into Jefferson. Paul. Williams. McGuinness winning it back in that defensive winger role. Gallagher over the top. Mbama, the advance forward, is in. And it's a save by Bursic to keep it at 0-0. Chances at either end of that highlight. But it's going to remain the same score. Creswell to whip in the corner though. And maybe, just maybe, it is a moment with someone's noggin. It's not. Don't know why McGuinness is in the box. We need to work on that. But that is going to be 0-0. Williams. Throw in. Gallagher wins. McGuinness, his ball in is blocked. And Creswell and Co will recycle. Paul down the line doesn't win. And Williams now. McGuinness winning it back. Great work from the young youth player. What a ball in too. This is why I like him in that defensive wing on support. Get the ball, win it back, get a ball in the box. And unfortunately it's blocked, and it's going to be a 0-0, 34 minutes played. Creswell's ball in. Doesn't beat the first man. Divian now. McGuinness, Creswell, Divian, no effort, won. And that's to be the highlight. Straight down the other end though, LaRox with a corner. Headed. And Kirk, and it's in. We are 1-0 down in the 37th minute to Pompey. Not a great moment for us. We played actually okay. It's been an end-to-end game. Lots of highlights for a Stoke City game, to be fair. Johannesson maybe should do better, but it's going to go 1-0 Pompey, and that's no good. We've had 25% possession, and we're 1-0 down. Wilson's ball in towards Chaplin. Good tackle by Gamboa. Wilson, backstick ball. We can see 2 goals right on half-time, and just like that, we're 2-0 down. The only saving grace is Millwall is currently beating Bristol 1-0. That has just popped up just before this highlight. Both teams in this promotion race are going to be 2-0 down at half-time, and this is not great from us at all. Half-time, 2-0 down, 7 shots, 1 on target, 1 XG. We've actually more XG with 26% possession than Pompey. We're going to start in the second half in the same system, but we'll move fairly quickly into the attacking 4-4-2 for sure. We've got it all to do here in the second half to try and wrestle back a point. Just quickly, Millwall are 2-0 up now against Bristol. So, this is a big game for us, but we can't really find a chance. Bosniak is not 100% fit, but he is on. We need him now more than ever. And outside of that, there's been not much else really happening from the middle of the park. I am going to get Pearson, who's off, for Rigo, who's one of our younger players, but is pretty good as a centre mid on support. We need goals. Can we find them? Hopefully we can. It's a corner. It's Creswell. We need this to find the back of the net. Ball in. Nzonzi, save. Bosniak is offside. The flag went up immediately. He thought he was a hero. He is not. It doesn't look like it's our day. To throw in down the other end, this would be cruel. Dozzle. Yang. Wilson, Dozzle. Oh no. One of those days. We do not deserve to get promoted. 16th place Pompey are going to beat us 3-0. Gamboa, need to score now. We're obviously on that attacking 4-4-2. It's a ball that can't find the feet of Donnelly. Just came on. It's another one. We're 4-0 down. We are throwing promotion away. And this is not just good. We're 3 goals ahead of Bristol on goal difference, and now we're just copping it. This is not great at all. Goal difference is only 2. Thomas, other side. Bojnacek comes back from injury and scores. It's probably a big goal in the context of goal difference. Would love to find one more. Get it 4-2 is what it is. We're obviously going to be quite angry in the post-match talk. But yeah, not good. Time has ticked away. It's going to be Pompey 4, Stoke 1. What a weird old game. If you look at the XG table, 1.77. You look at the shots, we had more shots than them as well. We also had 13 corners and took us, we only scored from one of them. Cresswell 5.9. Every ball we whipped in was super poor. I don't understand what's happened here, but Pompey have gone and rattled us. We've lost 3 goals. Our goal difference is only +2. But the only thing that we can say, and hopefully it shows us here after I thrashed my arms and told them that was absolutely woeful from all of them, is Bristol ended up losing 2-0 to Millwall. So, we are still 2 goals clear, which is important, because if Bristol lose a game and we draw, we will have destiny in our own hands based on goal difference. But yeah, that is a big opportunity missed against all meaning. As you can tell, this is the first game I've logged in on a brand new day. First game, typical Football Manager. You're in a big race, and it's your first game on, and you just cop it. Next game for us though is Millwall. If I move my camera out the way, and we'll see you guys for the highlights of that game. And I can't understate this enough. There's 3 games to go. We must win, and we'll be back with the next one where Bristol, I do believe, are playing Norwich by memory. We'll double check that for you. Yes, it is. It is Norwich City for Bristol. Come on, boys. We need a result. Highlight, Gamboa, Nzonzi, Pearson. Finds Gallagher. McGuinness doesn't win that. I have moved him back to an inverted winger. That's what worked for us so often in this season, even though I think he's better as a defensive winger. But yeah, ball was picked off by Gibson. Cresswell. Ball over the top, finds Gallagher. Going, the target man, straight at the keeper. Poor highlights, poor moment. 0-0. Gamboa throw in. Great throw in. Doesn't find Nzonzi. Headed into the box. Gibson. Pearson. Wasn't far. It's still 0-0. By the way, in the Bristol-Norwich game, as you can see top of screen, Bristol scored and Norwich scored 2 minutes later. It's 1-1 there. 0-0 at halftime. Still 1-1 over at Norwich and at Bristol. Hopefully we can find a moment here second half. Not much to write home about in that first half. It has been a very defensive game from both sides. 58 minutes played. I'm going to go brave, boys. I'm going to go brave. We're going to go into the attacking 4-4-2 with no other changes. While Bojnacek has come back from injury, we need him to probably get 10-15 in the hyper-aggressive system as we chase a goal. Corner straight away. Cresswell. Ball in. Cleared. No one wins. Man off. Cresswell, inside to Nzonzi. Ben Wilmot, man off. Bojnacek, good run. In the box, they've given it a pen. It's never a penalty. Cresswell, who took a 5.9 last game out, was woeful. Has a chance to be a hero from the spot. It is Aaron Cresswell. It is 1-0 Stoke. It is huge. And as it stands, that moves us into an automatic promotion spot. Aaron Cresswell pops it home. It's 1-0, 61 minutes played. It is huge. Bristol's just scored again. It's 2-1 Bristol. Come on, Norwich, give us a moment. Norwich have scored. It's 2-2. As it stands, we're in second. Time ticking away. Come on, Norwich, hold on. There's a highlight here. Can we hold on? Ball goes long. Cooper. Not the time, silly dog. Oh my God, it's full to him. It's in the box. No penalty given. Stella. Cresswell. We have dog drama. Gallagher. Mitchell picks it off. Leonard. McNara. Ball in. Cleared. Can we hold on? Luongo! Oh, just over the bar. Thank God for that. Still 2-2 at Bristol and Norwich. It ticks away. It's finished Stoke 1, Millwall 0. We are through this game with a win. Stella, please, yeah? We're in second. Let's go. Let's go, boys. Huge result. There is 2 games to go. We've got Norwich next away from home, which is monstrous, and then Swansea on the final day. If we win both games, we're into the Premier League. Into our 3rd game of the playoff/automatic promotion push. We've now got Norwich, who just did us a favour by taking points off Bristol. If we can somehow beat them away from home here today, we will have one last game against Swansea City at home to win and get to the Premier League. With that being said, it's an unchanged team. We'll go back to McGuinness being this inverted winger on attack, even though I prefer him as a defensively minded winger. But that's what we're going to go with. And hopefully today we can go and do what we need to do against Norwich. I do know for the fact that Bristol are playing Sheffield, which is another big game. Norwich, however, need a win to get back into the playoff push. So yeah, it's going to be a big old tense tie. Cordoba again, Topic, Schlupp, cleared away, but only as far as Medic and Stacey now. Coming with the ball, backstick. Johannesson came. He didn't get there, and in the end it was handballed. It probably should be a red card. It was a denial of a goal-scoring opportunity. No red card. Sargent from the spot here against Johannesson. He ain't the hero. It's a great penalty, to be fair. We are 1-0 down early doors against Norwich. We cannot panic. We just need to go and make sure that we stay in the system, give ourselves a chance to get back into this game later. It was a great penalty from Josh Sargent, and we are 1-0 down. Approaching half-time here, we are 1-0 down. There has not been another highlight since the penalty goal. Thankfully for us, Sheffield 0, Bristol 0 at half-time as well. As it stands, we're both on equal points, but we're ahead by 2 goal difference. Let's see what the second half brings. 70th minute, Cordoba's throw-in, Topic, Schlupp, Cordoba, Manoff wins, but it falls back to him. Gibbs from distance, Schlupp now. What a finisher, 2-0 down. That is not good. I was just trying to get to the 75th minute to go attacking, but instead it's going to be Norwich 2, Stoke 0. Now we got a weird one. Do we stick in the system that's getting pummeled, or do we go attacking trying to find a goal? Because a goal could be huge. As you can see here, Bristol and Sheffield are still 0-0. We are now, I think, when this updates, 1 point clear of Bristol. I think we have to do it. I think we have to go aggressive. I think we have to go and get Manoff on one side, Vidal on the other. We're going to have to get Divian up front here for Gallagher and go advanced forward Poacher. And I think that is what we're going to go with. I'm going to get Rigo in for Ben Pearson as well. And I think we need to go for it and hopefully find a goal. It's a throw-in. Gamboa, great throw. Nzonzi flick on. It's blocked. Gibson had the moment. A goal would be huge. Goal difference, drama. It's all happening. Oh, yeah. It is not good. Creswell's ball in. Whippage. Cleared away. And it's going to stay a 2-0 Norwich. Creswell's corner. Pops it in there. Nzonzi heads. It's hit the bar. Oh, that close to a goal. Ben Wilmot, Rig, and that's that. If there's a late drama at Bristol and Sheffield, it's problematic. Time has ticked. It's finished 2-0 here. It looks like it's finished 0-0 Sheffield, Bristol. We are going to be tied on points heading into the final game of the season. We are going to be tied on points. 1 goal separates. It's final game of the season. But watch out for Southampton, who have come from nowhere. And because Stoke and Bristol haven't put it away, if we draw on the final day and Bristol draw on the final day and Southampton win, we are out ski. The only thing that secures us a final day Premier League berth is a win against Swansea at home and by more goals than what Bristol do, or else it will come down to goals scored or by how many goals did Bristol win. Some youth intake, boys. Firstly, before this first game, that looks elite. Obviously, McGuinness, fantastic. Arguably should be starting for us if we look at him. You know, in the middle of the park, he's pretty good. I don't play with two central midfielders. I'd rather play with either him up front or on the left, where he's pretty good. However, we've made a change today. That change is this. The game and automatic promotion is in our hands. If we score goals and we win this game against Swansea, we are there. Simple as that. So I think we're going to start in the Brexit 4-4-2 attacking. I think we're going to go after everyone, right? Secondly, as you can see, Southampton, wherever they are on this list, play Derby, who are 20th. Southampton have come from nowhere and have had a pretty patchy little run in. Yet again, my webcam is in the way. But a little patchy run in, but with some big wins and have been pretty decent throughout. There we go. In comparison, not the greatest. Too many draws for here to get promoted personally, but we're here. Obviously, as well, Bristol on the final day is who we're tied on points with, and they have Hull City, who are 19th. Their form has been atrocious. If they've had any form, they've won one game in the last month, they had any form, they get promoted. They've had no form, we haven't capitalised, and Southampton have come through to make it a free horse race come the final day. However, we play Swansea. They're 21st, they're safe, they have nothing to play for, and they are the worst team staying in the championship. I think we just have to go aggressive, attackive, and go, you know what, let's try and get a couple of goals early, and then we can sit back in the defensive system and off we go. That is the plan on what I think we should do. Let's get into it. Hopefully some highlights of us scoring. Is it going to be automatic promotion, or is it going to be the playoffs? Let's find out. Early highlight, it's Cullen, it's backstick. Swansea have hit the post. That close to being 1-0 down. Timon. Swansea wins. Gallagher now finds Vidgal, who we've taken out the team to get in McGuinness. Manoff back on that side. It's straight at the keeper, but better movement straight off the bat. It's still going to be 0-0. Wow, Southampton are 2-1 down. Derby went 1-0 up, then Southampton scored, and now Derby are again 2-1 up. That is huge as it stands. Bristol, wherever the hell they are, in this massive list of teams, still 0-0 against Hull. But that's huge for us. Southampton are losing on the final day, which means it is all down to us and Bristol at the moment. There's still a lot of time to go. Bojanic is injured. That's not what we wanted to see. Bojanic is injured. I'm going to bring McGuinness on, boys. Pressing forward on attack. I trust you. The youngster, the 16-year-old now, is on. Creswell, ball in. And Zonzi heads home. We're 1-0 up. Huge. 41st minute, what a ball from Creswell, and 6'5" Ndonzi. The French legend heads home and may have just headed us into the Premier League. What a rise, what a header, what a goal. We are 1-0 to the good. As you can see, Bristol have just scored against Hull as well. Back on level points. We are back into second with that goal. 4 minutes of added time. Is there another highlight here right on the half? There is not. It's Stoke 1, Swansea 0. It's been an okay half. We're 45 minutes away from potentially being in the Prem. Hull has scored in stoppage time. It's 1-1. Wow. Highlight other end though. Benson. Monry. Ball back stick. Headed over the bar. Still 1-0 Stoke. Highlight here, by the way, Southampton has just scored to make it 2-2. As it stands, if Southampton score and go 3-2 up, they go in the second and jump both Bristol and us. If we concede and Bristol score, Bristol are up. It's all to play for. If Bristol score 2 goals, we lose on goal difference. It is massive. 57 minutes played. Pearson doesn't find McGuinness. It's a ball out to Jun Sung. And they're on the break. Vidal, what a tackle. It falls to Cullen. He's hit the bar. We just need one more goal. And Creswell to whip a ball into the box. McGuinness, the target of all people. Falls to Vidal. McGuinness, the 15, 16-year-old, the youth intake player, scores. He scores. Oh, park the bus, boys. Absolutely park it. Park it now and park it forever. It is 2-0 Stoke. It is huge. Creswell's ball in. McGuinness the target. I don't think he was, but it fell towards him. Vidal gets it back to him, and the youth intake player could just fire us into the Premier League. Southampton are winning 4-2. They've just banged in 2 goals in quick succession. We must win. We cannot draw. We must win. A draw would see us miss out by a point now. Southampton have put themselves in prime position if we bottle it. Bristol are gone. They're out. They're out for the count. It's down to us and Southampton now. Time ticking away. It's a highlight for Roland. Southampton are now 5-2 up. Backstick ball, Johannesson comes a long way and claims. I've made changes. We are into the 2 defensive wingers. We've done a lot. Seko flicks. Gamboa puts it into the target forward of Gallagher. A goal would seal it. We're going to the Premier League, and on the final day, it had drama, it had tension, it had a goal from a 16-year-old wonder kid, and it's got a goal that seals the deal, and it's the target forward in Gallagher who finds Divian in Bomber, and Stoke City are back in the Premier League. Get the champagne out, it is done, it is all she wrote, and we are there. As Creswell hits one into the post and Divian now makes it 4. Swansea have fallen by the wayside. We have pummeled them here today. And we're off to the Premier League, boys. Don't know where this result has come from, but we have been given maybe a little bit of luck for being aggressive today. The 4-4-2 attacking went well, and the defensive system has seen it off. It is going to finish Stoke 4, Swansea 0, and ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it is time to say congratulations as we are into the Premier League by 1 lousy point, and it's never felt so good. Board has set budgets for next season. We have no money in this football club at the moment, but we haven't had the payout for making it to the Prem. But they've given us 45 million to spend next year. We'll be utilising all of that to build a team that will stay in the Premier League. Like, look at our finances very quickly. I don't know where the 45 million has come from, but that is fantastic. All I'm going to say is that we're going to have to break down this squad right now and see exactly what we need to strengthen if we're going to stay in the Prem. On screen is the club vision and expectations for next season, and I like a couple of the changes. A big part of what they wanted from us this season was playing possession football. That ain't Stoke City. They don't care about that anymore. For them, it is about just doing it if you can. Sign players under the age of 23 for the first team. Maybe not in our first season in the Premier League, but something I will definitely do in the second season in the Prem. Next year, it's about just trying to stay up, which is fine. They want us to play attacking football. Even though we play this defensive 4-4-2, it does score goals, so that's perfectly fine. This, to me, means that we have to play probably McGuinness from game number 1 next season and try and get him to develop, which I'm okay with, and set pieces is fine. Working within the payroll, we'll definitely try to do that. Close the club's reputation. Just by staying in the Premier League, we'll naturally do that. They've got some contract stuff about over the age of 33 players, 31 players, that sort of stuff. In terms of what they want from us next year, avoid to attempt relegation from the Prem. What that means is as long as we don't come dead last and we come 19th or 18th, we get relegated, that would keep us in the job, generally what it means on FM. So even if it goes horribly wrong next year, as long as we don't finish 20th, we should be able to keep our job, which, yeah, with the goals of the save is about establishing Stoke in the Premier League. We shouldn't be aiming to get relegated next season, but it might be a hard, long slog. We'll find that out. In terms of anything else, we obviously got the team meeting and all that as well. In terms of the training camp, I am going to go and get the boys over to Scotland. Why not? Let's go to Scotland, boys, and get that done. We've got updated in squad numbers. I know some people want to see that too. I'm definitely going to go after I film this episode and go and improve all our team in terms of scouts, etc. And yeah, we'll see what we can currently do with all of that. And hopefully we can meet those visions, etc. Now it's going to be into breaking down the squad, seeing exactly what's good and what's not, and seeing exactly what we might need in the Premier League next season to stay up. This part of the video is going to be a little bit less structured, more hands-on, and a lot more fiddly in terms of talking and going through screens, etc. It's going to be a bit of a post-season rundown / what areas we need to improve upon for next season. First, we're going to get into the squad screen. I know a lot of people like to see that. The person who made the most appearances for us was obviously Victor Johannesson with in the goalkeeper role, and Aaron Creswell, of course, played every game, 2 off the bench, 49 total games as well. Next is Ben Pearson, Milan Manoff, and the list goes down. But everyone from Nzonzi up playing over 40 games for us this season. In terms of goals, it mainly came from Divin Mbwama, who he is on loan. Bozranek was on track in order to get past 17, and then obviously copped a long-term 3-month injury, then another injury that kept him out for a couple months, and then got injured again in the last game of the season. It's only a couple-week injury, I will say, but he was on track to beat Divian's numbers. I will say straight off the bat that I am interested in loaning him back, but we're not allowed to make a loan bid at the moment. And when I looked at the screen earlier, City said it was too early to discuss thinking about a loan. So, yeah, all good. We'll see if we get him back. Jamie Donnelly has to be mentioned too, obviously, from Spurs. Scored 10 goals for us this season as well. I will say that when it comes to the goal-scoring department, I think anyone that we put up front will generally get goals from just the wing play that we play, but we'll target some people in the window. In terms of assists, it came from Soribia Thomas, and a lot of his assists came when Andre Vidgal was away on African Cup of Nations, and I think we underutilized him a little bit when you look at the numbers. I think he's really decent, and he's 6'1", which means he can also header at the back stick, and it's probably someone we should look to use over Andre Vidgal, who is a very dynamic player that can change a game, but is maybe someone that maybe shouldn't have started as much as he did, and we should have put more trust in Thomas. Creswell obviously taking all that set pieces, not too bad. Manoff did really well. And Nzonzi from the middle of the park was exceptional, but he is 35 years of age, and he is quite tall, and he is quite old, and he has some interest, which is pretty interesting as well, pardon the pun. In terms of anything else in our starting 11, the interest comes from Victor Johannesson, who's one of our Sheffield and OJ Nice. Telling you right now, if a bid comes here for 17 million, that is just a no-brainer for a keeper that is decent, but, you know, I personally would like a bigger goalkeeper, as in like a 6'5", 6'6" guy that can claim some crosses. Other interest is, of course, in Nzonzi, as just mentioned, and that's really it. Like, Seko has some interest from Las Palmas, and I would be interested in selling, right? And you've got interest here in no one else in the squad. So not too much interest in all our players. Now, this is what we played on the final day of the season. I would say just by doing that, that is probably our best 11. And as you can see, on paper, our best player is Bozranek at 4 stars. That is a leading Sky Bet Championship player. We have no Premier League quality players. What I will say is that we probably need to play this sort of system and come up with the team that we think is best to get us results in the Prem. As much as I want to play McGuinness, and I think he's really good, I don't think he is ready to play. And what I'm thinking about doing is maybe he plays in the middle of the park, but he might be a bit small and he's not strong enough. I don't know what I do with him. He's a weird player. He could play up front, he could play out wide, he could play out fullback, but he doesn't really get in there. So in terms of what positions I think we need from the starting 11 is we're going to need a fullback because Christian Gammon's probably not going to be good enough to be in the Premier League next year. So we probably need that, right? Ben Gibson is a very good backup centre-back for us, and I think he's pretty decent. Apparently he's a ball-playing defender. It's not particularly the system I want to play with us, is a ball-playing defender, but he's not bad. I think Ben Wilmot will stick around because of how good he is, and you know he's a good to leading player. He's 6'2", and I believe he loves a big game by memory. Yeah, he relishes a big game, so I don't mind. I think Gibson maybe should get the opportunity at 31, and he enjoys a big game too, and he's fairly consistent. But we could leave him as is. Creswell has to start. Is the only one that has Premier League experience in the squad with Nzonzi, and that's fine. I think when it comes to Nzonzi though, he has to come out. I know he headed us through to the Premier League, but I don't think he is our starting player next year. Ben Pearson doesn't have like Premier League experience in terms of playing lots of games in the Prem, but has pedigree because he did come from United back when United were decent, and then obviously has played 7 games for Bournemouth in the Prem before coming here. He was one of our main players. I have no qualms in playing Ben Pearson, and I think he's really decent. He is a bit more of a ball-winning midfielder than he is a defensive midfielder on support, and I'm really thinking of going to a ball-winning midfielder myself because he kind of fits the bill, and as much as he's only 5'9", he's naturally pretty strong and he can do a lot of the dog work. So I think Ben Pearson will come in, and he's probably going to go to that side. And we'll probably go with a ball-winning midfielder on support as well and really hope that that ball-winning midfield picks the ball up, wins it, and then distributes away to someone else, which means we need another midfielder. As mentioned, I think that Thomas and Vidgal are fine together, back a line here, but we probably would like some more creativity from this position. I think Thomas is not bad, and I think Milan Manoff is pretty good, and he can play either side fairly well. He has a pretty weak right foot and a very strong left foot. I would say that he's probably going to play on this left-hand side and play it fairly well, and I'm happy with that. Bosniak, I think, deserves an opportunity even with the injuries, and I think Gallagher, as good as Gallagher is at times, I don't think he's a good enough player for us to use in the Premier League. I think we'd rather a 6'4" striker that is really going to do the business. And I think Gallagher's numbers this year, 8 and 3 and 34, is not good enough for him to warrant in the Prem. So now what I do is I go, okay, that's kind of what my starting 11 is, right? And Gallagher comes in as option number 10 here. And I pick what my bench is because I like having 11 guys that can fill the positions if need be. So Ashley Phillips won't be here. I doubt any of the loanies will be here. And now it's a question of who plays where. So let's say if Milanov is the starting winger, Guinness would be probably the backup left winger. And I think that's okay. We use him in there. We can also put him up front as a bit of a backup player. We don't need the biggest squad. We just need players that can play in and around in every position. And McGuinness can play left back, striker, and in the midfield line as a midfielder or as a winger. So I think he's perfectly fine. Someone like Rigo is pretty good and he has Premier League potential, but is he a guy you want to put into the Premier League right now? I don't know if he is. I think he's decent, and I think as a defensive midfielder on support, he can probably do a job. And the fact that he's 6 foot is not as nice, but I think with 10 strength, we would rather a bit of a stronger option. So for me, he doesn't get in there, but he is a very good backup midfielder. Seko, I think we can sell. I don't think he's good enough, and he's a bit small, and I would like some taller timber in the team. And I think Andre Vidgal probably is good enough to keep around, but what I think we should do is get rid of him, get Thomas into the other winger spot, right? And go and get ourselves a right winger that can really create. I think Ben Gibson is a great backup player for us. He can play either side. And straight off the bat, when you look at the team, this is kind of what we need to do. Is we need to go and get a fullback that can defend. We need to get a centre back. We needed to get a defensive midfielder that I think is over 6 foot, can win the ball back and have some creativity. We need a winger that is absolutely rapid and can create. And we need a big boy target forward that's 6'5" plus with better technical ability than what Sam Gallagher had. On the bench is players that I'm happy with. I don't think our backup goalkeeper is good enough, but, you know, it's not here nor there at 30 years of age. I think Junior as a backup fullback can do a job. He's got potential, and if we do go up and come back down, he'll be our starting right back the year after, which is perfectly fine, right? I think Ben Gibson's a good enough backup. Thomas is a good enough backup. Rego's a good enough backup. McGuinness is good enough, and Gallagher's good enough. We don't need a big enough squad. We don't need a squad that's this big. We're staying in the Prem. It's going to be one game every week. We're going to try and play our best team. So I'm almost tempted that we go into the Dev Centre and our youth candidates. And as much as these guys aren't good enough, and Williams, Abdul, and Jerry, is we just bring them into the first team for pre-season and play them and have them kind of like, if we need to fill out numbers on the bench, have these guys. And what that allows us to do is to put all 45 million, 42 million now that it sits there, into finding a starting right back, starting centre to back, a starting DM and a starting winger and a starting target forward. And one of the wingers, the DMs, or the fullback having 15 plus long throws. And hopefully everyone above 6 foot is kind of what I want. And that's what we need to look at. And hopefully that's what we can find. I think that's the breakdown of the squad. Let me know where you would strengthen, or if you would get McGuinness playing in one of these roles. as well. Let me know if you would change from a DLP to a ball-winning midfielder on support. I think the DLP is a pretty good role, to be fair, and Pearson can definitely play it. But maybe we go for a more creative play and actually go away from the DM on support and make it ball winning, which is now what I'm thinking that we do. Is I don't think the DM on support did enough, but the ball winner on support can really help, and that's because he's really good at being holding in the hole. And then we get a really creative DLP, and I think that's what we can do. And Nzonzi can obviously do those moments and stuff. But that's what we're gonna do here. I'm pretty happy with that. Hopefully, you guys are gonna stick around for next episode, which will definitely be us getting to the Premier League, our first game of the Prem, pre-season, scouting, all that sort of drama. We're going to come back with a bit of a transfer sort of special, who we picked up, what we looked at, how we got those players in, and obviously who we draw in the Prem. We're going to probably be the worst rated team in the Premier League no matter what we do, so we're going to probably be favourites for relegation, but it'll be interesting. As always, if you've enjoyed this drama-filled episode, let me know in the comment section down below. Over 70% of you that are watching are not subscribed, so if you could hit that sub button if you made it this far, please do so. And hit that notification bell so you know when we go live on YouTube for this series, live for FM26, or with future episodes that are coming out, of course. Comment section below. If you are new to the channel and you have not watched any other episode, this side or that side is going to be the playlist to this series. There'll also be another video along with it as well. But from Damo, from Stoke, we got promoted. I'll see you guys next time. Thank you and goodbye.